to create Tibia in 1997?
What inspired us? Yeah?
Yes.
So it was really, like, it was almost 30 years ago, and it was really a different time back then. People didn't have internet at home, but in Germany they had internet at the universities, and at that time we finished school, and my friends and me, we came to the university and really had the first contact to the internet, and found some people already playing games on the internet, but they were just text-based games, so-called multi-user dungeons. So to play these games, you had to enter on the keyboard, take sword, go north, and these kinds of things. So it was really early back in these days. And we were really big fans of role-playing games at that time, and especially we loved the Ultima series. And we felt like an online game should feel like a real game. You should see your world, and you should be able to move through the world, and especially you should be able to see other players and interact with them. And that was the vision for Tibia, which is true until today. And I'm still a bit surprised that it really worked out, because we were really newbies and we had no idea how to do that, but we figured it out somehow. It was an adventure.
It was like one book for programming TCP/IP, right?
I remember that we had to figure out how to make something work on the internet, and there was just one book that explained at that time how to do that.
Oh my gosh!
It was really underground.
That's so nice. This is so important for all of the students around here, you know, that they really understand that they can do a game, a really important game as well. So, what was it like when the first player logged into the world of Tibia for you guys?
I remember that very well, because we in January 1997, Tibia went online, but nobody knew anything about it. So first of all, we had somehow to make it visible to everyone. So I remember at that time everything was listed on Yahoo, and they invented our own category for a graphical online game, because there weren't any. But soon after this happened, and we were on Yahoo, I remember my brother shouting at my house, "There's someone online in your game?" And actually my co-founders were with me at that time, and we all went to the computer of my brother, and we saw the very first player online, and it was really exciting for us. We chatted with him, it's amazing. It was an amazing experience, actually.
So nice. And how did you go from a hobby project, you know, to suddenly you're forming a company to develop like Tibia further, you know, from a really small start and then boom.
So as I said, we started as students, so we worked during all our university time on the game in our spare time. And when we finished and graduated, we were asking ourselves what happens to Tibia, because we knew that when we start working for some other company,
pode deixar que se der eu vou fazer sorteio.
So we took the brave step to found our own company, and we told ourselves, let's try it. We could try to make a business out of this. At that time everything was free. So we founded Spft.
Galera, se o som tiver uma porcaria, desculpa, tá? É que eu tô no microfone do celular mesmo.
It was awesome. I loved it, really. And we really made a game which was very appealing to the audience, I think, and also it was possible to earn some money, which was at that time also kind of difficult.
Of course. Well, let's talk about difficulties, right? So, can you describe like a particular challenge you faced during the early years of Tibia and how you overcame it?
So for example, in the beginning we didn't know how to earn some money with it, and we had to live from nothing. So we were thinking about the game itself was free, and you couldn't do any advertising, because when we founded the company in 2001, the new economy...
Ô louco, GH, não dá pra pegar tudo, né, mano? O palco é pequeno, o palco é grande, quer dizer.
So we couldn't earn any money with advertising, which was common at this time. So we really ask the player if they may be willing to pay some money for the game, which was unheard of at that time. And so yeah, but the community was great. So they said, yeah, sure, we'd like to support you. So we introduced a subscription fee for the game, and on the other hand, we said everything which was free at that time will
Tá
stay
feliz
free
agora,
forever,
GH?
and it's like that until now. And only the new stuff we will build in the game, you will have, you can access with a premium account. Yeah, and people supported us. We are really thankful.
That's so amazing because it's all about community, right? It's all about you guys as well. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's all about community.
So when you first started developing Tibia, what were your expectations or hopes for the game? You know, and how did they align with the reality of its growth and player reception as well over the years?
Yeah, so our hopes was that we will find players everywhere. We never imagined where we will find players. We just put the game out there. Yeah, so and I remember it was around 2003 when many players from Brazil were joining. So it was a big surprise for us actually. Yeah, and it was awesome to see that from another country. We didn't know back then. So many players come and
Tem, mano, tem, tá lotado.
about the game. And so we really, I think, we got a close relationship with the Brazilian community throughout all these years, because Brazilian players are really passionate and very competitive, and they're pushing the limits. They're always pushing us to get something new into the game, and you give us a lot of feedback, which we are really grateful for. Thank you so much for that. So so the company developed together with the community, I think, and I think we made the best out of it.
That's why you're using our Brazilian T-shirt.
Yeah, we also love football.
Yeah, we love football, obviously. And yesterday Brazil won their match at the Copa America, so that was awesome. And their first one round, well done.
Yeah, congrats for the game yesterday.
Amazing, that's so nice. And how have your daily responsibilities and routines shifted as Spft and Tibia grew and expanded?
Pardon me, I didn't get that.
How exactly your responsibilities and your routine changed with the whole growth regarding Tibia and Spft?
Yeah,
Because
so-
I guess everything changes, right?
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
like I said, we started just with the four founders of us. So we were just some friends making games at that time. And so when many more players entered the game, we really had to organize all the growth. So we were hiring people for the first time. And we had to learn.
Opa, mano, valeu, tamo junto, meu querido.
We were students, you know. And we needed to organize the growth for the game servers. So we hired system administrators, and really, so over the time, I think we got professional. And for myself, in the beginning, I did everything from programming over doing some art and doing some support. I did everything.
Hoje eu ia trazer o cartaz, mas eu esqueci, mano.
And sometimes with the old days.
Jack of all trades, right?
So when I joined the company, we were 17 people, and it was, so they started with 4, right? And when I joined the company, we were 17 people, and it was like family still.
Yeah.
And,
And how many today?
100 people.
Oh my gosh.
So and most of the 100 people are working on Tibia, of course. And actually, it's the biggest size of the company that we have ever had. So the last years have been the most successful in our company history. Thanks to the support, and we're really we invested a lot back into the game, and I think we can expect many more nice things to come in the future.
Ooh. I like this kind of spoilers. I like this. So, how are you navigating between introducing new content while, also maintaining classic elements that appeal to veteran players?
That's always a challenge to introduce new content, because the game is now 27 years old and we are working constantly on it. So you can imagine we had every year 2 updates with new content. So the game really grew very big, and there's a lot of things in there. So it's not that easy to find something new which we can still introduce. But we have a really nice content designer team who are working and they're very creative. And actually, maybe that's interesting to know, our very first content designer we hired out of the community. He was a player. His name is Nightmare. And yeah, so much of the very first content is from him. And he's still in the team. He's still working for us and still working on the updates. He's like, he knows everything about Tibia. It's great.
Talk about, keeping the community with you. This is so nice. Yeah, you know, I have like a friend of mine, Mari, she's crazy about Tibia. She's almost like every day she's talking about Tibia. I love it, I love it. She has like her own community. So this is so important,
That's nice.
Yeah. So, what factors do you think have contributed to Tibia's popularity in Brazil?
Pode deixar, Joe.
Look at that.
Vou avisar os caras aqui.
That's so amazing.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Yeah, I think. So the question is why we are so popular in Brazil, or
yes.
Yeah. So I think the game really resonates very well with the Brazilian culture. That's my impression. The game offers a lot of freedom and gives you room for your own creativity. You can decide yourself what you want to achieve in the game and where you want to go, what you want to do. I think Brazilian people are very creative, and they love to communicate, and also at the same time they are very competitive, and all of this is a perfect match for Tibia, I think. All of this you can find in Tibia, and I think Brazilian people really found something of Tibia which really fits nicely what they're looking for, and they're very happy about that.
Do you have?
The thing is that's really funny is in Germany where we're from, hardly anybody plays Tibia.
Oh really?
So yeah, hardly anyone knows us there. So.
But they didn't even play like when they were younger or something like that?
It just never got successful there.
No, that's a crime. Like seriously, I used to play that a lot. So
this is my first time in Brazil. It's really, really lovely. I love the food, I love the drinks. Everyone is really, really welcoming, and it's been a great experience so far.
Have you tried like feijoada, the whole package, like pão de queijo, guaraná, this like Brazilian food?
Yeah, we love everything. It's awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Really, really lovely. And I think so. Tibia here is it's really a cultural thing, and we're really humbled which influence it had here in Brazil, and a lot of players.
Pode deixar, já vou perguntar. Opa, De La Riva, beleza, mano? Como é que você tá? Obrigado por estar na live aí.
That's really, really.
That makes us really proud that we inspire other people to work on their own games. That's awesome. Yeah.
Wow. Do you have any particular stories that you like to hear from oh yes, Tibia made this, and from like a fan?
So I didn't get the question. I'm sorry.
Cara, nem eu ganhei meu cartão de gift code, viu? Tô tentando ver como é que pega essa porra aí, mano.
You really liked to hear that? Oh, Tibia changed my life.
We heard multiple people that met in the game and got married.
Essa barata aqui do lado, mano. Ó a galera aqui, ó.
Dá um oi aí, galera.
Esse de chapeuzinho de Sitz aí é o Sabará, ó.
For us, it's hard to imagine that things like that are happening, and it's really awesome that our game has such a big influence and people love it and cherish it.
So nice. So, how would you describe Brazilian players and what you?
Tá, mano, aqui tá o Tejou, tá o Teus, tá o Lorde Paulistinha, tá o Giovanni, tá só as lendas aqui, mano. Taylor também tá aqui, tá todo mundo, mano.
Like I said, the majority of our players are from Brazil, like more than 40%. Yeah. So, and we really believe that the community is at the heart of an online game, and so we really learned to listen to you guys.
De La Riva, não sei o nome de todo mundo não, mano, mas tem uma galera aqui.
To accommodate players. It's not always easy to do that, of course, but we're trying, and yeah, so we really think it's most important.
Mano, o microfone fica uma bosta, eu tenho que pegar o celular e botar muito perto pra falar, tá ligado? Depois eu tento botar umas legendas aí no YouTube, sei lá, ver o que eu faço, mano.
Yeah, I mean, it's, the Brazilian community is one of the largest in the game, and the feedback that we get from them is really important. And so the community management team listens to all these things, they collect these things, it's passed on in the company, we discuss these things in the company. So, you know, sometimes from outside it feels like we might not be listening, but actually we go through a lot of things and discuss them and try to implement things. And I think over the years, you know, we're doing surveys, we look at data in the game, so we try to create a game and move Tibia forward in a direction that is good for the community. And I think that is something that is also really important. So the game is as much their game as it is our game.
Yeah, because it's hard to implement those things that the community wants, like in a really super fast pace, right?
Yeah. So it's not always easy to find out what the majority really wants. So what we really are doing now is we have surveys all the time and to really find out what also the quiet players want. So not always what you read on the...
Pode deixar, bro. Pegar o Lorde Paulistinho, o Tejou e o Teus aqui na saída, mano. Vou fazer eles dropar os TC aqui.
We ask a lot of things, and yeah, please participate because it helps us to find out what you guys really want.
Nice. So let's talk about Easter eggs right now. So are there any subtle references or nods to the Brazilian culture in Tibia in response to its popularity there, you know, here?
Yeah, there are some little Easter eggs hiding somewhere, yeah, so... But,
which ones? Oh, come on!
I think there's an NPC, for example, whose name is Churrasca, which refers to Brazil, and with the upcoming summer update actually, we will introduce some little things which has a clear reference to Brazil, because we are here right now. And actually, I really like that the players also find their own ways to
Ainda não, Rafa, eu tô só falando das groselhas que eu sabia que eles iam falar, e acho que eles vão falar do jogo novo deles também que eles estão lançando aqui.
And it just looks like the Brazilian flag. I think that's so cool, and we never designed for that, but we've done that. Yeah.
This is so Brazilian culture, right?
It's awesome.
And can you tell us a little bit more, like spoilers of what can you perhaps bring to Tibia after knowing Brazil? You know, perhaps churrasco, feijoada, caipirinha.
we saw a lot of cool things here this time when we're here, so we will certainly think about what we can put in the game, which refers to Brazil. It's an awesome country.
All right. So reflecting on the journey of Tibia, what are you most grateful for? Like, what are you most grateful for after like this whole journey with Tibia?
So what we're really grateful for is, of course, you guys playing the game. So it's just awesome to have so many fans. So obrigado aos nossos fãs. It's really more than we can hope for, and especially it amazes me that you guys stick around so long with this game. It's now 27 years old. So from time to time I'm hiring now people who are younger than Tibia, which really feels awkward. Yeah. So it's amazing that it's still so popular, and we're doing our best to have another 30 years of Tibia in the future. So yeah. So I hope that works out.
And what lessons have you learned from your experience with Tibia that you think that are valuable for other game developers?
Yeah, that's a good question. So how do you make a good game? Yeah,
so hard, right?
It's a tough one actually. Yeah. So when I think back how we built Tibia, It's, I think, all about passion. So you really have to believe in the idea you have and in the mission you have, because everyone will tell you you have no chance, it's garbage, give up, don't do it. And yeah, it's always like that. So if you start a new game, yeah, it's not everyone believes in the beginning in it. So, but you have to know what you're aiming for and what kind of game you want to make. And if you have that passion, other people will follow you and will try to participate. And then you have the best chance to overcome all the obstacles, and there were many of them, to build a great game in the end. I'm really convinced of that.
Developing is an up and down, right? So it's really hard. There's a lot of obstacles in the way, and there are days that are going to be great. You finish a feature and you have the feeling this is going awesome, right? And the next day you come to the office and everything is broken and fixed everything and nothing is working and no one finds a solution. And you just have to stick to it, right? So you just have to stand up again and go to the next day and work on it. Especially if you make an MMO, so it's marathon, it's really...
Engraçado que os caras estão falando assim, é que é difícil porque dá problema, você chega no dia, tenta arrumar tudo e nada funciona, tem que fazer tudo. E até hoje não fizeram o Tibia funcionar, né? É foda.
We're really lucky to work in the games industry and to be able to work on such cool things every day.
That's so nice. This would be like your main tip for new developers, like for example, like student developers as well, you know, to really fully understand what they're doing and go for it. Do you think?
So the tip for new developers, yes. So just so you guys know, it's very difficult to understand here on the stage because...
Would you like to have, like, perhaps... No? Yeah.
So
would you like to?
That would be good.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
You continue?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
So I'll talk about a few tips for new developers, right? So I think the first tip that I can give is to define your scope and to know what you think you can manage to develop actually with your team. Because not every game is going to be suitable for every developer. So it might not be the best idea to start creating an MMO actually if you're just starting developing games, because that's really super hard. So pick something that your team can actually create and that you're confident that you'll manage in a certain scope. And if it's not going to be a hobby, right, which is totally fine. You can create games as a hobby. And the expectations are set. So if a few people download it and look at it, that's cool. But if you actually want to make a business out of it, you should think about how much is it costing and how many units you need to sell that actually can make a viable business out of this. And a lot of indies forget that part.
Ele tá com o chapéu do Citizen aqui.
Investing in the game is a cost, right? So you should be thinking about that. And most of all, the game should be fun, and you should be having fun developing the game, because as Steve said, it's a passion thing. So if the team hasn't got the passion building the game, you will notice later on that it will be just the game, but you can feel if there's nothing or not.
Oh, nice. Just a minute. Produção, a gente consegue retorno para eles, porque eles não estão conseguindo entender muito bem o que eu estou falando. Pode ser? A gente consegue? Acho que a gente... Pode ser? Arrasou, show. I'm sorry, I was telling what your yeah. Okay, so let's continue. Look, reflecting, what is your personal favorite moment or experience related to Tibia?
Segura aqui, so one thing I remember instantly if I hear this question is it's a level 999 core. Back in many years ago we implemented basically a little joke into the game. So there was a door which you could only go through if you have at least level 999.
I remember that. Like I did like an article about that. Oh, that was amazing. I'm sorry because this is such an icon moment, right? Yeah. continue, please.
And it really, at that time, I don't know, the players had maybe level 100 or something. So we really didn't think that ever someone will get there to go through this door. And now.
Pelo que uma spoilerzinha tá aqui na frente, mano.
It was like 7 years later, I think. Some people in my company told us, hey, people are getting really high levels and they put so much time and effort into, and they will reach level 999 pretty soon. And so we really said, oh my God, people will enter this door, and there was nothing behind it at that time. Because we never thought there will be something, that someone will reach it. So we really thought about what we could put behind the door, and we put something nice there. And then when the first player reached level 999, it was a Brazilian player actually, as far as I know. And congrats, yeah, you made the rise, you didn't have to wait. And the best part is, he went through the door and came back, and people asked him, what's behind this door? And he said, oh, look for yourself. Yeah. That's awesome. I really love that. Yeah.
And you?
Well, my favorite moment is when Durin played for Rumbras and killed players over players over players in the game world. You know, that's I think that was something really amazing that happened, and I wish I had been part playing then right then.
Agora eles estão falando sobre os momentos mais legais que eles acham do Tibia, só que não dá pra ficar traduzindo simultâneo, tá ligado? O microfone tá uma bosta, mano. Que eu tô usando um mic do celular mesmo. Depois eu vou tentar legendar no YouTube ou algo do tipo.
So that's obviously the most important part. Yeah, so it's amazing that you're here, that you can support. Yeah, so it's of course the fans, and I think the fans are still around and love the game, because we're doing our best to keep the game fresh. And yeah, so if you actually ask the players why they stick around for such a long time, they will answer this because of my friends. Yeah. So it's really an online game where people meet each other, and they find friends for a lifetime actually, and that's awesome. There are people out there who found their wife or their husband in the game, the real wife or husband, and yeah. So it really, I think Tiga connects people all over the world, and I think that's a wonderful thing. Yeah.
And you?
That really sums it up. It's the experience that you get in Tibia is a community-based experience, and it's all about the players. And I think that's also what kept the game going on and on, because what Tibia does is the players write stories, things that happen in the game, the wars they have, you know, the conflicts, the drama, guilt, betrayal, all these things. Those stories are the ones that matter. And I think that is, you know, it's the core of the game, and that comes directly from the community.
That's so nice.
Well, another thing which comes to my mind now is a couple of years back we had the pandemic, right? And everywhere throughout the world, people sat in lockdown at home, they couldn't go out, and they were thinking about what to do with their time, because they cannot do what they usually do. And during that time, people actually remembered Tibia, and they came back during that time. So lots of people really rejoined the game during that time, and it was really for us also a moment to realize that Tibia is much more than just entertainment. It really connects people and help them not feel lonely and finding friends. And yeah, so we really felt that Tibia is much more important than just entertainment. I think you guys feel the same. Yeah.
Do you? Yeah, we have now. Thank you so much for this. Okay, Ireland? Okay, great. All right, so are there any NPCs, monsters, locations, or quests in Tibia that you have a particular fondness for, you know?
Yeah, most certainly. So since I was there at the beginning, I was also one of the first content creators, basically. And
really?
Yes, of course. So I put the very first NPC into the game, and the name is the NPC is called Sam. He's a blacksmith. He's still in the game. selling weapons since 27 years. So, yeah.
It's a nice business, you know.
Absolutely. And I together with the other founders, we put the very first quest into the game. So there's the Lighthouse quest. It's not really a real quest, but it's just a thing you can do in the game. It was one of the very first things we put in the game. And yeah, so when I'm not actively playing, but if I get into the game and walk around and find these things, it's so nostalgic for myself. Yeah, so it's really nice.
And you?
I love the fact that you can fall down a hole and you need a rope to get up. And if you haven't got the rope, you're stuck at the bottom and you actually have to ask someone for help to get you out of that hole again. And I think that's an experience that a lot of people have, right? So that's in newer games you wouldn't be doing this because you know it would like frustrate people. But it's part of TV, and I think that is a lovely feature.
Killing rats and dying and killing dragons as well, you know?
Roblox.
Yeah.
Shout out to Roblox.
You'll never forget your first dragon. So I remember that I put the dragons in the game and I went there and I was just dead. So even I didn't forget my first dragon. Yeah?
Didn't you do this with slimes? And they like.
Yeah, that's another funny story. So there are slime in the game and as a monster. And in the very first version, we made the slime in a way that if you kill
Você
it,
quer tirar foto comigo, mano? Pode, ué. Você tá aqui na Gamescom, vem falar comigo.
Basically, in the very first version, we had a bug in the slime, and it really grew. If you hit it, it grew so fast. Within an instant, there was the whole box full of slime, and the sort of crashed basically. So we really had to do something about that and fix that. So yeah, that was fun for us.
I love those stories. So, I think that it's time for talking about a really important subject. Okay, are you ready, guys? Are you ready? Okay, alright. So, a trailer for Spft's new game, Versus Online, was showcased here at Gamescom LATAM 2024.
Agora eles vão começar a falar do jogo novo deles, lá do Persist Online.
A little bit more about the game, you know, are there any similarities to Tibia or any elements that might feel familiar to Tibia fans, you know, that they might enjoy as well?
But first of all, a big thank you to Gamescom LATAM for the opportunity to be here and to...
Thank you for being here. This is amazing.
Eu não sei se eles vão abrir pra pergunta, olha, mas se abrirem eu vou perguntar se eles já jogaram Tibia, tá ligado? Acho que é uma pergunta pertinente.
So, this is online is also a passion project actually. So, I started it with a colleague of mine, Tom, shortly before the pandemic hit. And we have been playing DayZ, which is a great game. You know, a lot of things in DayZ that we love, so like the thrill and the danger of meeting other players, which is a lot of elements of Tibia as well. And,
exatamente, né? E não arrumaram nada, desde então.
And you run out into the world and you meet a zombie and kills you. And you start making at the beach. And you go out of the world, find items, finally another player comes and kills you, and you start making at the beach. So,
it's a lot like Tibia.
But that was like when the idea for Persist Online was born. So we said it would be cool to have a game with that thrill and excitement going out in the world, but without that frustrating moment of losing all of the progress. So we decided to work on a game where we have a persistent world and the progress remains. And we worked for about 1.5 years. And had a prototype, and then we showed it to Steve and the other guys at the company, and they said, hey, this project is going somewhere, so should we work full time on it? So Tom and I started working full time on the project in the company, and then slowly we added some more team members and hired some new people. Now the team is 14 people working full time on the game. And so what is Persist Online? So that's what I know. It's not a shooter, and it's not a spider game. It is a fully fledged MMO. And it actually shares...
Oi, Jagel, tô esperando também, meu querido. Eu não peguei meu gift card até agora. Qual o outfit do evento aqui? Não sei nem onde pega.
The strength of Tibia is also in Persist Online. the game offers a lot of freedom. So also in Persist Online, you decide what you want to do. For example, I'm really an explorer type of player. I love exploring the world, and the world of Persist Online is huge, and it's 3D. You have buildings, you can enter every building. A skyscraper is like a dungeon which you have worked through every floor to find the boss at the roof. But you can also do other things in the game. Of course, you can socialize with other players, or you can push your skills to the limit. There are a lot of items to find which you can collect and to improve actually, or you engage in PvP and become the most powerful player. So that's all things you also.
Opa, Diego, tudo bem? Cara, eles falam um pouco da história do jogo, dos maiores desafios, o que eles mais gostaram e tal. E agora eles estão falando do jogo novo dele, o Persist Online. Depois eu vou ver se eu coloco no YouTube o vídeo com legenda certinho, tá ligado? Aí vai ficar melhor pra entender.
Nowadays, there are a lot of games that take you by the hand and lead you from one objective to another and tell you what to do, how to do it, then the role game, and then it goes on. And we believe that it's more fun to have a game where you have choices and they matter. So you can do good things, you can do bad things, you might have consequences, right? But the game will not stop you doing this. So for instance, in Persist, if you kill other players, you get negative karma. And if you have negative karma die, you will not spawn in the usual city anymore. You will spawn in a different city with an outlaw faction which has a whole quest to your its own.
So there's like an evil faction.
Yes. And if you get close to a regular faction, they will shoot you at sight, right? And a regular player who is karma and he gets close to this outlaw faction, they will shoot him on the side. So they're trying to make it world that is dynamic, that feels alive, and where it's important where you are in the game and what you do, and it has consequences.
It's all about giving power to the players. So we don't like the idea that the players have to do what we want them to do, but they should decide what they want to do. I think that's important.
If you want to run out in the world, it's really large. It's 30 square kilometers at the moment, and it's all handcrafted. So if there's mountains, you can go up the mountain, you can go down on the other side, or the other cities on the other side. And as we said, in the city, you can go to every building, into every room, every single plot. So you can explore the whole world. And there's really a lot of references, Easter eggs.
And the whole bacteria, the whole world is handcrafted. So every building, every room is propped with nice little details. We put a lot of love and effort into this to make it a living world, bacteria.
Nice. Can we expect some Easter eggs from Brazil as well?
I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, nice. I like this kind of spoilers. And what do you think are the main elements that the Brazilian players would really love into this game?
It's a PvP game, it's a hardcore game. And so you can have the guild, you can go out, you can fight for nodes, resources, get better. There's a very sophisticated item and skill system in there. It's got 250 skills. It's classless, so you can actually build the character build that you like to play. So if you prefer to play shotguns, you can run shotgun guy, combine it with any other city like key, you can just build what you want to have, what you want to play that suits you. You can also have multiple characters in the game. So I think there's a lot of things that an MMO needs. The chat system, auction house, mail system, there's lots of things that no passes are currently. So there's a lot of things in there.
But no parcel bug in this game, sorry.
Oh! And what are your favorite elements from this new game?
So I actually like the item system a lot because it's...
Why?
Yeah, every item that drops has a lot of random stats on it that roll out. And they also have a quality level, so they go from gold to legendary. And with the higher levels of the item, you get modifications, which are also rolled out. They have like perks for the weapon, and while you play, you can actually level up those perks. So what happens at gameplay is that the items that I find, when I use them, the item gets more powerful. And so I have a lot of progress in these items. These are the things that you do not lose when you die. So what you do lose is your backup and everything in it. But my armor and my weapons, where the work is in it, that remains. You don't lose those items. And I think this is a really cool system.
And I personally also really love the zombie setting. So who doesn't love zombies? It's always fun in the setting. And yeah, and also I really like how the world looks. So it's not a dark and creepy place like you could expect from a zombie game, but it's actually quite colorful because we thought that in this world there live NPCs and the players should live there. They make the best out of the situation and they take everything with humor. So it's a cool and actually a nice and a colorful place, even though zombies are roaming around. So you can have fun there. So we want to make sure that that's the case.
Ô, Rafa, aqui na feira tem um negocinho que eles estão dando e tem uma tradução simultânea, ó, tá vendo? Ó? Aí você põe esse bagulho aqui na orelha e tem uma tradução em português, tá ligado? Só que o som do microfone dos caras tá tão alto, mano, que é até difícil entender o que o cara da tradução tá falando, sacou? Depois eu vou subir no YouTube o vídeo, que eu tô fazendo live pro YouTube e pra Twitch simultâneo. Eu vou subir o vídeo pro YouTube com legenda depois. Aí vai ficar mais fácil pra todo mundo entender.
So our approach is different than other companies in this case. So, we also have a roadmap where we stay because we think it's important to polish a feature, try it out, iterate it, and if it's not good, to not put it in the game. So we don't want to promise to add that feature and then just because it's on the promise list of release dates to then put it in the game. I think it's more valuable to discuss it directly with the community and not just struggle with people and go on.
But if you want to play the game as soon as possible, you can take part in test sessions that will come up. And if you would like to do that, sign up for the Discord server. We will invite players from time to time to test the game and give us feedback. So feel free to do that.
Nice, thank you so much.
I've got a lot of stories though. So,
oh, please tell me.
So Steve was saying that the first time the TJ server went online and the first person logged in. So I had a similar event, right? So we had the server online and we closed it down now for players now, but so we had one online. One night I was on the Discord and I was chatting with Tom, the co-creator of the game, and I saw lots of people joining our Discord server suddenly, right? So it flopped up and 100 people joined the Discord server. And so I went to the computer and turned it on, and it's at home, it was very late at night, and I logged into the game, and there were 179 people online running around in the game, playing and doing lots of things and exploring the game. So that was really, had the same experience as Steve back then, and
But more than one player.
But it's an awesome feeling if someone is playing the game that you have created and they give you positive feedback on it and say this is a good idea, we like what we're doing. It pushes the team to really go further and go over their limits as well.
And would you like to share like another story about this new game for the audience as well?
Another story, I love the hundreds of stories already, which is quite funny. So I had one about a player that was in the game, and so what you do is you start at the bunker and you go out in the world and you collect items and you can sell them to NPCs, you can use them obviously yourself, you can trade them with other players, or you can recycle them, you can get raw materials and then craft items with them. And this player was trying to get as much plastic as possible because he was going to build some weapons. And he was looking for the most efficient way to get plastic. And we hadn't implemented a lot. So there were like a few items you could find that create plastic. So, but he found a very creative way, which I think shows also the approach of development. So he took a screwdriver and opened some pockets and parts and got coins out of them. And then he took these coins and went to a vending machine, threw them in and got out water bottles. And he took these water bottles back to the bunker and recycled them to get plastic. So they found their own system, their own way in the game. But we didn't implement this, right? So there wasn't no purpose behind this. And,
we didn't plan for that, but we figured out a way to do it that day, and it was very efficient actually. And I think it's wonderful if you have this freedom in a game, and you find your own way of doing things and finding a way to make the best out of everything.
That's so nice. It's like playing with the player's creativity, right?
Exactly, yes. And I think that shows like the freedom and the open world design and the sandbox and stuff as well.
This is so amazing, guys. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you for having us and giving us the opportunity to talk to the Brazilian audience. You guys are awesome. Yeah.
You rock, guys, really.
Thank you so much. Uma salva de palmas, por favor, meus amores. That was so cool. Would you like to take a picture with everyone?
Yes, so in a few minutes we're going to have pictures in the meet and greet area, so everyone who wants to meet us, you can line up there. And we'll be coming over and we'll be taking pictures with everyone who wants to have one. And say hello and talk to you guys quickly. I mean, there won't be super much time for everyone because there's a lot of people here. Right? So,
But you can say hello and we're happy to make a photo with you if you like. So please stop by.
That's amazing. You're celebrities around here.
apparently.
Well, thank you so much. Do you have a last message to send to our Brazilian audience?
Yes, thank you for playing Tidia. We're so happy that you guys played Tidia. So nós amamos o Brasil. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys. You were amazing, and you were amazing as well. Thank you so much for being here at Gamescom LATAM and announcing such an important thing as well. Thank you very so much. That's it. Would you like to take a picture with everyone? No? Yeah. Galera, vocês querem tirar uma foto? Vamos! Vocês fazem barulho? Vocês vão... Pode ser, produção? Não pode? Pode ser? Ok. Então vamos lá então. Tem um fotógrafo aqui, gente?
É pra cá, né?
Do you have... Yeah, I'll take for you. Ok.
Ó o teuzinho aí, galera. Ó o teus aí, galera.
Oh, okay, great. Vamos lá então, gente. Fazer igual da outra vez. Então, 1, 2, 3 e... Thank you so much. Thank you. Muito obrigada, pessoal. Uma salva de palmas. Thank you so much. You can go. Yeah, that's perfect.
Galera, eu vou encerrar a live aqui, beleza? Tá da hora, deu pra ver, né? Eu vou encerrar aqui e depois eu subo no YouTube, beleza? Valeu pra vocês, galera. Até mais. Tchau, tchau.